Good evening and welcome to Express Tribune's 6 p.m. bulletin. The leaders of Ireland, Norway, and Spain have announced that they are recognizing an independent state of Palestine. Three separate announcements were made by the prime ministers of each country, with the Norwegian PM hoping that an independent Palestine would promote peace with Israel. But Israel was not pleased, announcing that it is recalling its ambassadors from the three countries for urgent consultations. European Union members Slovenia and Malta have also indicated in recent weeks that they plan to recognize an independent Palestinian state. Before the announcement, some 143 out of 193 member states of the United Nations have recognized a Palestinian state. US Senator Bernie Sanders has supported the International Criminal Court's request for arrest warrants for Israeli leaders over the Gaza war. Sanders is one of the few US senators to publicly back the ICC's move, saying there is evidence that Israel has committed war crimes in Gaza and that there must be consequences. The ICC prosecutor had announced on Monday that he has reasonable grounds to believe that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's defense chief, and three Hamas leaders bear criminal responsibility for crimes against humanity. Sanders, an independent, is a US former presidential candidate and a leader of the progressive movement. But President Joe Biden and his political opponents have criticized the announcement, questioning the ICC's jurisdiction over the Gaza conflict and raising concerns over the legal process.
The Israeli military has detonated a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device that it came across in the occupied West Bank city of Tubas. It marks the second such discovery in the area since the war in Gaza began in October. The incident highlights the Palestinian resistance group's use of large and high-quality explosives to target Israeli forces, according to US-based defense think tanks, the Institute of the Study of War, and the Critical Threats Project. Thousands of mourners are gathering in Tehran ahead of the funeral of President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash near the Azerbaijan border, and will lie in state at the Grand Musalla Mosque before being taken to his hometown for burial. Meanwhile, Iranian officials and regional leaders attended a funeral ceremony for Raisi and other victims at Tehran's Grand Musalla Mosque on Wednesday. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, Hamas official Ismail Haniyeh, and Lebanon's Hezbollah deputy leader Sheikh Naim Qasim were seen among the mourners. Raisi's burial is set to take place on Thursday.
Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar says more than 3,000 Pakistani students have been evacuated from Kyrgyzstan following the recent mob attacks. He added that the number is expected to exceed 4,000 by the end of the day. Dar visited Kyrgyzstan's capital to meet with officials and injured students. He thanked his counterpart for arranging his visit and agreeing to regularize visas of 1,100 Pakistani workers who are facing deportation. The evacuation comes after an altercation between locals and foreign students prompted mob attacks targeting mainly international medical students in the country's capital. Police have registered an FIR of an attack on Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf spokesperson Rauf Hassan. Hassan was attacked outside a private TV channel in Islamabad on Tuesday, with the PTI leader sustaining multiple cuts to his face. The attackers, including 5 transgender persons and 3 men, surrounded Hassan and slashed his face with blades, causing severe bleeding. The PTI leadership condemned the attack, calling it a clear attempt to kill Hassan and demanding strict action against the perpetrators.
Ace mountaineer Sirbaz Ali has successfully scaled the world's tallest mountain, the Everest, becoming only the second Pakistani to achieve this feat without using supplementary oxygen. Ali, who had previously summited the 8,849-meter peak using bottled oxygen, reached the top at around 12:30. He emulated the achievement of Sajid Satpara, who was the first to scale the Everest without oxygen support. Sirbaz was part of the Imagine Nepal 2024 Everest expedition team, which included 14 international climbers and 18 Sherpas, according to a Radio Pakistan report.
A Nepali mountaineer has reached the summit of Mount Everest for a record 30th time, breaking his own previous record. 54-year-old Kami Sherpa first climbed the mountain in 1994 and has done so almost every year since. Meanwhile, a British national and a Nepali guide have been missing since Tuesday after they slipped and fell near the south summit. The two climbers were on the way down when the incident occurred in the mountain's so-called death zone where oxygen is sparse.
The European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act will enter into force next month, setting a potential global benchmark for AI technology. The Act imposes strict transparency obligations on high-risk AI systems and restricts governments' use of real-time biometric surveillance. The legislation will have an impact beyond the EU, with companies outside the bloc needing to comply if they use EU customer data in their AI platforms. Fines for violation range from 7.5 million euros to 35 million euros, depending on the type of violation. Severe turbulence on a Singapore Airlines flight from London to Singapore has left one passenger dead and 30 others injured. The Boeing 777 jet was forced to make an emergency landing in Bangkok, Thailand. The deceased is a 73-year-old British man. 7 passengers are in critical condition. The flight experienced a sudden and dramatic descent of over 1800 meters in just 5 minutes. An investigation is underway.
Pakistan and England are set to face off in a 4-match T20 international series starting today at Headingley. The series is a crucial warm-up for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 in the USA and West Indies. However, the first match is at risk of being affected by rain with a 60% chance of rain in Leeds. Pakistan is coming off a 2-1 series win against Ireland with Mohammad Rizwan and Shaheen Shah Afridi taking home Player of the Match awards. England leads the T20 international rivalry with 19 wins to Pakistan's 9, but Pakistan captain Babar Azam is confident his team can carry their winning momentum into the series.
Taiwanese students studying on the Chinese mainland have spoken out against the United States, accusing it of hypocrisy and using Taiwan as a tool to maintain its hegemony and contain China's development. The students say the US is manipulating Taiwan's political arena and exerting influence over the choice of Taiwanese people to secure its own dominance. They also criticize the US for prioritizing its own interests over those of Taiwan, citing examples such as demanding Taiwan's semiconductor industry to build operations in the US and its allies. The students are outraged by US arms sales to Taiwan, which they say have had a negative impact on Taiwan's physical condition and the well-being of local people.
The DEA and the LAPD have launched a criminal investigation into the death of actor Matthew Perry, who died in October 2023 from an acute ketamine overdose. The investigation aims to determine how Perry obtained the ketamine and the amount that led to the fatal overdose. Perry had been receiving ketamine infusion therapy for depression and anxiety, but a toxicology report revealed a lethal level of ketamine in his system. The investigation hopes to shed light on the circumstances surrounding Perry's tragic death and prevent similar incidents in the future.
Madame Tussauds London has revealed its latest addition, a wax figure of actor Timothee Chalamet. The museum's artists spent 9 months creating the figure, which is dressed in the same Alexander McQueen suit Chalamet wore to the London premiere of Dune Part 1. The 28-year-old actor is known for his edgy style and versatility on screen. Fans can see the wax figure starting Friday.